Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Lily Harper, and today we're going somewhere most people don't have the guts to talk about. We're talking about touch, not just any touch. I'm talking about the kind of touch that makes a woman over 60 feel like she's on fire again, the kind that makes her grab your wrist and whisper, "Don't stop." Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Lily, I've been married 30 years. I think I know how to touch my wife. And look, I hear you. But here's what 15 years of working in sexual health and intimacy coaching has taught me. Most men, good men, loving men, devoted husbands, they're touching their partners the exact same way they did in 1985. And guys, she's not the same woman she was in 1985. Her body has changed. Her needs have changed. And if you're still running the same old playbook, you're leaving 90% of her pleasure on the table. So today I'm giving you 7 places women over 60 are practically begging to be touched that almost no man thinks to explore. And I'll be honest with you, number 7 is the one that changes everything. It's not what you think. Stay with me. But before we dive in, I want to share something with you. I got a message a few weeks ago from a man named Gerald. He's 72 years old, retired, lives down in Florida, and he wrote me something that honestly broke my heart a little. He said, "Dr. Lily, I spent my whole life working to make my family comfortable. I was up at 5, home at 8, 6 days a week, and somewhere along the way I forgot how to touch my wife. Not because I didn't love her, because I was too damn tired to learn." Gerald, if you're watching this, I want you to know something. It is never too late. You hearing me? Never. The fact that you're here, that you're curious, that you want to learn, that already puts you ahead of most men half your age. And this video, this is for you. This is for every man who's willing to slow down and pay attention, because that's really what this comes down to, paying attention. Now let me set the stage here, because understanding the why is just as important as knowing the where. After menopause, a woman's body goes through real, significant changes. And I'm not talking about the stuff you read on WebMD. I'm talking about what it actually feels like to live in that body. Her skin gets thinner, more delicate. That means touches that used to feel like nothing can now feel like electricity. Light, lingering strokes that you might have thought were too gentle. Those are the ones that make her melt now. Her arousal takes longer. I know guys don't always love hearing that, but it's the truth. Think of it like a slow burn. You know how the best barbecue takes hours, low and slow? Same principle. You rush it, you ruin it. But when you take your time, when you let every minute of anticipation build on the last one, the payoff is something neither of you will forget. And here's the biggest shift. After 60, desire doesn't shrink, it spreads. It's no longer concentrated in 1 or 2 spots. It moves into her scalp, her neck, her hands, the small of her back. Her entire body becomes a map of pleasure. But most men miss this because they're still goal-oriented. They're touching her to get somewhere, to get to sex. And she can feel that. Trust me, she can always feel that. What she wants, what she's actually craving, is experience-oriented touch. Touch that says, "I'm not trying to get anywhere. I just love being here with you. I love exploring you." That's the shift. That's the unlock. And once you get that, everything I'm about to tell you is going to make a whole lot more sense. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, the scalp and hair. Now, I know this might sound tame. You're thinking, her head? Really? Yes, really. There's something deeply primal about running your fingers through a woman's hair. And I don't mean a quick pat on the head like she's your golden retriever. I mean slow, deliberate fingers sliding through her hair, maybe pulling just enough to wake up every nerve ending on her scalp, then transitioning into a deep, slow massage that melts every ounce of tension she's carrying. And guys, women over 60 are carrying a lot of tension. They're worrying about their kids, their grandkids, their health, their aging parents. That scalp massage, it's not just physical, it's permission. It tells her, "Relax, let it all go, I've got you." And here's what happens when she surrenders there. Her whole body follows. I've had women in my practice tell me that a good scalp massage from their partner made them feel more aroused than anything else that happened that week. Not because it's inherently sexual, because it disarms her. It takes down the walls. And once those walls are down, everything else becomes possible. Number 2, the nape of her neck and shoulders. Oh man, this one. If there's a gateway to a woman's desire, this is it. The back of her neck, right where her hairline ends, is one of the most sensitive, nerve-rich areas on her body. Slow kisses there. Warm breath against her skin. your hands working the knots out of her shoulders while your lips brush that soft spot behind her ear. I'm telling you, this combination is almost unfair, and there's science behind this. That area has direct nerve pathways that trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. So you're not just making her feel good physically, you're literally strengthening the chemical bond between you. But forget the science for a second. Think about what it communicates. When you're behind her, close, your mouth on her neck, your hands on her shoulders, it says, I'm here, I'm present, I'm not going anywhere. That feeling of being protected, claimed softly, desired quietly, that's what lights her up. I had a patient, a woman named Margaret, 64, married 41 years. She told me that her husband started kissing the back of her neck every night while she washed dishes. Nothing else, just that. And within a month, she said their intimacy had completely transformed. Not because of some fancy technique, because of consistency and presence. That's the power of the spot. Number 3, her hands and wrists. This one surprises a lot of guys, but stay with me. When's the last time you really held your wife's hand? Not just grabbed it crossing a parking lot, but actually held it. Traced your fingertip along her palm, circled her wrist with your thumb, brought her hand up to your lips and kissed it slowly, like she was the most precious thing you've ever touched. I had a man write to me recently, 64 years old, married a long time, and he said the simplest thing changed everything. He started holding his wife's hand during their evening walks. That was it. And his wife started smiling more. She started reaching for him. Their whole dynamic shifted from something that had grown cold into something warm and alive again. The wrists especially. They're thin-skinned, delicate, and you can feel her pulse right there under your thumb. Paying attention to her hands and wrists isn't flashy, but it whispers something powerful. I notice you. I love the small details of you. I love the parts of you that no one else thinks to appreciate. And for a woman over 60 who might be feeling invisible in a world obsessed with youth, that message is everything. Number 4, the small of her back. There's something undeniably powerful about a man placing his hand on the small of a woman's back. It's protective, it's guiding, it's possessive in the best possible way. And I don't care if she's 62 or 82. That feeling never gets old. Now take it further. Slow, circling strokes with your thumb right there on her lower back while your lips brush against her shoulder blade. You've just lit a fuse, my friend. This spot is what I call the bridge. It connects the upper body to the lower body. It's like a hidden switch for anticipation. When you pay attention here, her body starts to understand that you're not rushing, you're building something. You're creating a slow crescendo that she can feel from her shoulders all the way down to her toes. And guys, that anticipation, that's half the pleasure, maybe more. Number 5, the inner thighs. Now we're getting closer. But here's where I need you to really listen, because this is where most men blow it. The inner thighs are insanely sensitive. The skin there is thin, the nerve endings are dense, and the proximity to her most intimate areas makes every touch here carry an electric charge. But the magic isn't in touching them, it's in teasing them. Feather-light fingertips, a slow drag of your nails, the whisper of your breath against her skin. Maybe you trace a line with your lips, then stop. Let her wait, let her wonder, let her brain go to that place where it screams, please, closer, closer, but not yet. That tension, that delicious, maddening, sweet torture is what makes the eventual release so incredibly powerful. Rushing past this spot to get to the main event is like fast-forwarding through the best part of a movie. You miss everything. So slow down. Linger here. Let the anticipation do the heavy lifting. Number 6, the whole landscape down there. And I say landscape deliberately because that's exactly what it is. Not a single button to push, but an entire terrain to explore. And this is honestly where most men fail. Even men with the best intentions. They go straight for one spot. It's like hitting the gas pedal on a cold engine. Too much, too soon, and all it does is stall things out. Instead, think like an explorer. Take your time. The outer lips, the inner lips, the perineum, circling the entrance slowly. Everywhere except where she expects you to go, at least not right away. And I want to address something here. I got a comment on a previous video from a gentleman who pointed out that some of what I described about anatomy wasn't entirely accurate in every case. And he was right. Every woman is different. Her anatomy is unique. Her sensitivity is unique. What feels amazing for one woman might feel uncomfortable for another. So the real technique here isn't a technique at all. It's curiosity. It's asking, does this feel good? It's watching her face, listening to her breathing, feeling how her body responds. That's not just good sex, that's generosity. It says, I'm here to worship every inch of you, not to hurry through a routine. And when she feels that kind of attention, when she feels truly explored and adored rather than handled, she'll open up in ways that will take your breath away. Number 7. And this is the one I told you about at the beginning. This is the one that changes the game entirely. Her mind. The single most powerful erogenous zone on any woman's body at any age is between her ears. Not between her legs, between her ears. And after 60, this becomes even more true. Here's what I mean. You can master every physical technique in the world. You can know exactly where to touch and how to touch. But if she doesn't feel safe, if she doesn't feel desired, if she doesn't feel beautiful in your eyes, none of it works. The body follows the mind, always. So tell her she's beautiful, and not in that quick, obligatory way as you're heading out the door. Stop, look her in the eyes and say, you are so damn beautiful. Tell her you've been thinking about her all day. Tell her what you love about how she looks right now, in this moment, not 20 years ago. Ask her what feels good. Listen to her answer. Whisper something while your hands are on her. I love watching you relax under my hands. I could do this all night. You have no idea what you do to me. I promise you. No supplement, no pill, no gadget you buy off the internet will ever come close to the power of words that make her feel wanted and safe and seen. A study from the Kinsey Institute actually found that for women over 60, emotional intimacy and verbal affirmation were the strongest predictors of sexual satisfaction. Stronger than frequency, stronger than physical health, stronger than any other factor. Her mind is the key. Everything else is just a door. Now, I want to bring this all together because these aren't tricks. They're not hacks. They're invitations. Intimacy after 60 isn't about trying to recreate what you had in your 20s or 30s. And honestly, thank God for that, because what you can have now is deeper, slower, more meaningful, more connected. It's about being present, being curious, being willing to learn your partner all over again, because she's worth learning all over again. So here's my challenge to you tonight. I don't want you to try all 7 of these. That's too much. I want you to pick one, just one, and make it one of the non-sexual ones. Her scalp, her hands, her neck, her back. Tonight or tomorrow or whenever you see her next, touch her there with absolutely no agenda. Don't do it to get to sex. Do it because you love her. Do it because you want her to feel your attention. Just let your presence in your hands be the gift, and then watch what happens. Watch how her shoulders drop. Watch how her breathing changes. Watch how her eyes soften when she looks at you. That's where real desire begins. Not in the bedroom. Right there, in that quiet moment between the two of you. And for those of you who are like Gerald, who spent years working hard and providing and maybe forgot to slow down for the tender stuff, I want you to hear me. You didn't fail. You were doing the best you could with what you knew. And now you know more. And that's a beautiful thing. There's something incredibly powerful about a man in his 60s or 70s who decides, I'm going to learn how to love her better. That decision alone, that willingness, that's the sexiest thing in the world. I also want to say something to those of you who've lost your partners. I know some of you are watching this and your wife is gone. Maybe you're watching because you miss her. Maybe you're watching because you're hoping to connect with someone new someday. Either way, you belong here. This knowledge doesn't expire. And the tenderness you carry from loving someone deeply, that's a gift the next person in your life will treasure. All right, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 surprised you the most? Or maybe you've got your own experience to share. Maybe you tried something small, like holding her hand or kissing her neck, and it changed everything. Tell me about it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your stories help other men in this community feel less alone. And listen, if this video opened your eyes even a little, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share it with a buddy who needs to hear this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, come on, join the family. I put out new videos every week, real talk about intimacy, health, and connection for men who refuse to stop growing. I'm Dr. Lily Harper, and until next time, touch with patience, play with curiosity, and love like you've got nothing to lose. Because at this stage of the game, you really don't. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen, and take care of her.